Hello, fellow hunters. My name is Shade, and welcome to Pure Chaos.
Away, 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 bam! Away, 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 kablam!
Woo! On the night of February 27th, at midnight, Montse Hunter Wilds finally came out. And since that night, a lot has happened, and I wanted to talk about it. Now, before we start, I would like to mention that this video is going to contain spoilers from the main story. So for those that don't want to get spoiled, I'd suggest you to leave now. And if you're still here, sit back, relax, and enjoy for what was my journey through the game called Montse Hunter Wilds. So as usual, we started at the character and palico creation, where I took my time making something I'd found fine. Once character creation's done, we're off to our mission. As a hunter with an incredible record, we've been tasked with the help of our handler Alma to investigate the Forbidden Lands, a region that has been restricted for thousands of years and so thought completely inhabited. That is until we find a young boy named Nata, unconscious in the desert. Claiming to be part of a clan named the Keepers, he says to have a village in that land that has been there for ages. Forced to flee due to a monster named the White Wraith attacking his village, he now needs our help to get back there. But wait, on our way to investigate, we find someone else in danger. A little girl seems to be chased down by some big sandfish monster or something, and we have to act. The only problem is that we can't reach her, and that's how the game introduced us to her second best companion, Bird. Also known as Seikret, that mount is probably one of the best add in the Montse Hunter franchise. Replacing the supply box that used to give us the bonus item for every quest, it can escort you everywhere, carry a second weapon, giving faster switch during combat, and man, it's freaking cool! Back to the rescue, we managed to catch up to the girl, take control of her secret, and get her out of trouble while absolutely destroying the monster in a way only a true hunter will do it. The girl's named Nona, and she got in trouble after her and her brother named Isai got attacked by another monster. She mentioned that he stayed back to occupy the monster so she could flee, but he might still be in trouble, and as a hunter, it is our duty to help others. With the help of the Seikret, we can track him using his scent. Before leaving, the game gives you access to the supply box, where you can organize your item pouch, armor, and weapons. Like other Montse Hunter games, you have access to 14 different weapons to choose from. Since Montse Hunter World, I've always been an insect glaive player, jumping from one monster to another. But for Wilds, I wanted to experience a new gameplay and try out other weapons, starting with the Switch Axe, an incredible high damage weapon switching from an axe mode to sword mode. The axe gives you the best reach, meanwhile the swords get faster attacks, or so that's what the game says. After a quick look at the equipment, I get to the Seikret, which leads to a nearby cave, where we find Nona's brother, who seems to be actually in trouble. Him and his Seikret are hurt, and they are chased by a frog-type monster named Chatakabra. And boy does he seem hungry with that big tongue of his. It's now time for us to intervene, and to begin our first fight! This is the part where the game explains the fighting mechanics, which if you've played other Monster Hunters games, you'll find similarities. In this one there's a tweak, with a new mechanic, focus mode. You can use focus mode to attack specific body parts and build up damage, creating at some point wounds that you can then use focus attack to destroy with a stylish move. We've all seen the dual blades focus attack, don't lie to me. Now here's the issue. Normally this fight is pretty quick. It's a tutorial. I had done this fight already back during the open beta. It took me 2 minutes tops. What I hadn't realized was that for the fight to actually start, you have to let the monster flee, so it could trigger the quest timer and then you can kill it. But hey, I was enjoying the new mechanics. I just thought that guy was the tankiest monster of the game. So here's an accelerated version of me beating the hell out of that frog for 10 minutes straight before understanding my mistake. After that fight, we get back to Isai, make sure he's alright, and join up with the others at the base camp they were preparing, so Nona and her brother could be back together. We also gain more freedom to walk around the base camp, where we can access the forge to upgrade and forge weapons and armor. We have the training ground to try out other weapons, and we also get access to the market to buy supplies. As the quest continue, we help Nona and Isai get back to their village named Kunafa, in hope to discover more information about the keepers or leads on Nata's village. While going there, we get to see the surroundings, the desert regions with all the creatures living here. Arriving at the village gate, we sadly learn that our access to it is denied by the guards. Strangers are not allowed, and even more, I have to give back my Seikret. Man, this sucks. Now I have to walk the whole way back to the camp by foot. Come on. Fortunately, they give it back right after this quest, where we had to help the support division that had, until this point, gone missing. Turns out they were being chased by a chicken-looking monster called the Quimantris. No wonder they were getting chased. Look what kind of meat they're traveling with. Isai then decides to go over the rules and gives us access to the village while the guards are away, allowing us to speak with their leader, Elder Ella. Unfortunately, she's not able to give us any information about the keepers, not knowing who they are. Still, we get welcomed with a feast so good looking that I had to take a break to eat something. With no other leads, we decide to head to the forest where an alpha Doshaguma was sighted. Being a possible threat to the nearby village with his pack, it can't be let loose. At this point, we meet the rest of the team. Captain Olivia, your best friend if you play alone and need some help, Eric the flower guy, and that freaking engineer who never remembers who we are. After a quick pop-up camp installation, we get to investigate the Doshaguma. But instead of finding the pack, we find traces of a flower spider called the Lalabarina. Next thing you know, our flower guy gets captured by that spider. You can hear the surprise in my voice, obviously. A fight later, this is where we encounter the most enigmatic creatures of the game, pillaging our camp. Wudwuds. They are almost as adorable as chaotic. They even almost made Alma go crazy playing with her precious artifacts.
Do whatever they say.
To get our stuff back, we had to follow them to their home, where we met their sort of chief, saying he doesn't want to give us back our loot, tribute, but he'd be considering an exchange for services. Man, he's lucky to be cute, cause he'd be dead otherwise. Anyways, he's asking us to get rid of a menace monster he described as pink fur with stagnacious gas. Oh no. If you've played other Montse Hunter games, you know where this is going. The Kongolala. You stinky old beast. Just look how they introduced him. With the Wudwuds fascinated by his fur, this is our first interaction with this guy. After a quick work of the monster, we can finally head back to our campsite with the rest of our loot. Everything is back to normal, nothing bad can happen, right? Well, that is until we find out that the Doshaguma pack had been messing with the camp all this time. The alpha is stronger as ever, and the pack is getting bigger and bigger. A warning to Kunafa village was necessary before they arrived. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to prepare for their arrival, and the fight had to start in the village while they were preparing for the incoming storm. So to save the village, I had to get the pack out of there, then split the alpha from the rest and slay it. This was an epic fight in the storm that I wasn't prepared for. Now let me explain. For a big part of the game, I had trouble remembering to eat, one of the best ways to boost healing and endurance. Same goes for filling my item pouch. So the worst had to happen. Fuck! But that didn't discourage me, and after a couple of minutes, the beast went down. Kunafa village was saved, and the storm ended, leaving us with a beautiful environment to watch. As a gift for helping them against the Doshaguma, the village has given hunters access to their Seikret. On our way to give some to Olivia and her team, we only drop on Werner. He does mention that Olivia and Eric went to investigate a dam deep in the forest. On our way there, we find the forest being flooded and under a rainstorm. A bit similar to what happened in the desert. Going up the stream, we managed to find Olivia in a peculiar situation.
Don't move.
Not sure what's preoccupying her until...
I'll help.
Thanks.
Now that's a beautiful mermaid. Just like the Doshaguma, the Wudwuds was a pretty intense fight. Its giant scale gave it protection against my attacks. Damage came in after I broke them. After struggling for a while, we managed to repel it. The rainstorm calmed down, and everything went back to normal a second time. Until the impossible happened.
Come on.
There it is. The White Wraith.
It's real.
Sadly, the beast left before we had time to act, and we had to move on. Like what happened in the desert, we are also left with a new forest full of life. The water isn't made of blood anymore, there's plenty of honey, for the sake of the Wudwuds, and the view is so beautiful. After these inclemencies, it's time for the season of plenty. The moment where Kunafa village makes trade with the village next door, our second destination to investigate in a more rocky fire environment. But that will be for the next time, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Catch you next time, hunters. Take care.